Welcome to Tech Blueprint, a window that lets you know the latest technology news in the world. Huawei has long been sanctioned by the United States and the West, restricting its business development. Recently, Germany has also joined the ranks of sanctions against Huawei. However, the effect of this so-called sanction does not seem to be ideal. The German government has just announced a ban on the use of Huawei 5G equipment, and then a large area of the country has been cut off from the internet, and the communication systems of 2,000 companies have been affected, and they may even face the serious consequences of regressing to the Stone Age. The problem of communication signals has not only affected enterprises, but also affected the lives of German people, leading to a surge in German public opinion. Foreign media made sharp comments on this, believing that Germany is self-inflicted. So why did the German government make such a decision? Large-scale dismantling of Huawei 5G equipment. As Chinese companies, Huawei and ZTE have continuously broken through technological barriers and demonstrated a rapid development momentum. They were once in the limelight and became a highly watched existence. However, the growth of Huawei and ZTE has caused dissatisfaction in the United States and the West. The United States has taken the lead in imposing sanctions on Huawei, and has frequently strengthened the review and restrictions on Huawei's related businesses or equipment, making it difficult for these two companies to develop in the United States. Subsequently, the EU also followed up, repeatedly urging member states to exclude Huawei from related businesses, and claiming that its 5G core equipment is a high-risk component. The EU not only issued a notice to member states, but also maintained a consistent statement in front of the media. After the announcement was released, Huawei and ZTE both tried to prove their security, but the results were not ideal. Under the influence of the deliberate propaganda of the United States and the West, even if they tried to defend themselves, they seemed powerless. Recently, Germany suddenly announced that it would remove Huawei's 5G equipment for reasons similar to those previously put forward by the EU and other countries, that is, to ensure national security. It is not clear whether this reason is convincing, but the German government is undoubtedly convinced and took quick action to completely eliminate Huawei's 5G equipment. Unfortunately, the problem has emerged before the equipment has been completely removed. More than 2,000 companies in Germany were affected and could not receive communication signals, and many technological equipment could not operate normally, resulting in a regression in industrial level. If only for this reason, these companies will always find a solution. However, due to the removal of Huawei's 5G equipment, the lives of ordinary Germans have also been affected, and mobile phone and TV signals have almost instantly dropped to 3G levels. The German people complained about this, and German companies were all in a headache, and a public opinion storm arose. Once the relevant information in Germany was exposed, some media made sharp comments, believing that Germany was shooting itself in the foot and suffered from its own actions. However, German companies are not helpless. Faced with the complaints of the people and the many inconveniences in life, the German government felt very headache. The equipment has been dismantled, and they can't reinstall it, so they can only continue resolutely. However, Deutsche Telecom, Germany's largest telecommunications company, has received countless calls from consumers who complained about signal problems and asked Deutsche Telekom to solve the problem. Under the current circumstances, they have no time to care about other things and can only directly announce that they will purchase a large number of Huawei base stations and antennas. Despite the EU's previous ban, Deutsche Telekom still took a tough attitude and firmly chose Huawei's equipment. When Deutsche Telekom first announced the news, it immediately attracted people's doubts and condemnation, accusing it of disregarding the safety of the country and users. In response, Deutsche Telekom stressed that according to national regulations, Huawei equipment cannot be used in critical systems. This move is precisely to ensure national security, and antennas are not critical equipment. This explanation sounds reasonable. Judging from Deutsche Telekom's behavior, they still have full trust in Huawei's 5G equipment, and the above explanation also provides a legitimate reason for various future behaviors. After all, the Huawei equipment they purchased from beginning to end is not critical equipment, and there will be no problem even if they use these equipment. Even if the EU continues to be skeptical, or even suppress Huawei equipment in the future, they can continue to use loopholes in the rules to fight back and ensure that their actions are considered reasonable and will not affect their own business. Deutsche Telekom's lip service behavior has caused the EU a lot of headaches. However, this also shows that the battle for 5G equipment is far from as simple as it seems on the surface. Germany had previously strongly opposed the EU's imposition of tariffs on Chinese electric vehicles, but with the complexity and change of the international situation, Germany has now taken the lead in taking action against China and announced the suspension of cooperation with China in the gas turbine business. However, China made a breakthrough in the field of gas turbines and no longer needed to rely on cooperation with Germany. This happened in less than 24 hours. This move by China completely disrupted Germany's calculations. Therefore, in order to avoid affecting cooperation with US and Western partners, Germany decided to show goodwill again and therefore decided to remove Huawei's 5G equipment. Although Huawei and ZTE have repeatedly emphasized that there is no problem with their equipment, the stubborn attitude of the US and Western countries makes it difficult for them to fully explain it. This is undoubtedly a huge test for Huawei and ZTE. For Germany, the actual situation is also the same. According to the information disclosed by the German side, they are actively promoting the Industry 4.0 plan, and 5G technology is the core of this plan. Huawei is a pioneer in the field of 5G and even 6G, and both related technologies and equipment have an extremely important impact on German industry. It is indeed challenging for Germany to find a balance between showing goodwill politically and obtaining practical help from Huawei equipment in development. Although Deutsche Telekom has shown a tough attitude this time and opened up new paths for other companies, if real change is to be achieved, it still needs to start from the root. The United States and Western countries should abandon prejudice, treat every company fairly, and create a fair and open market environment so that everyone can benefit from it and enjoy the convenience brought by science and technology.